Hello, my fellow handicappers. This is Weekend Handicapper. In this video, I'm going to give you my 2022 Kentucky Oaks Derby Double. And this is a wager where you're trying to pick the winner of the Kentucky Oaks on Friday, come back the very next day, and try to pick the winner of the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. If you're successful, if you have the winner in both of those races, you cash that particular wager. And hopefully, if you bet it right, pick the right odds horses, you're going to make a nice profit. I'm not expecting to get rich on this year's Kentucky Oaks Derby Double with my contenders that I'm playing, but I do expect to make a profit. So let's talk about the Oaks in particular, because I've made a video. You could check it out if you hadn't watched it already. You could check it out here on my channel. I'll also put a link in the description below to my Kentucky Derby picks and analysis video and a card here in the video. So I go over like half an hour analyzing the Kentucky Derby and how I'm going to bet it. This particular video, I'm going to briefly discuss my contenders who I like and some long shots in the Kentucky Oaks and reiterate who I'm going with in the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Oaks, it's going to be race number 11 on Friday. Post time's around 5:51 Eastern Standard Time. It's 1 1/8 on the dirt, unless it rains. And it's going to rain probably a lot. So plan when you're handicapping, plan and factor in an off track, because more than likely it's going to be a wet track, a sloppy track, a muddy track, a monsoon track, and it ain't going to be pretty. And these fillies here are going to get a little dirty probably. So factor that in when you're doing your handicapping. I'm going to try to highlight at least a couple horses that should like an off track. So take that for what it's worth in your handicapping. All right, so let's talk about some potential contenders and a couple long shots in this year's Kentucky Oaks. And then I want to tell you who I'm going to bet, and then I'll talk about, again, who I like in the Kentucky Derby, show you my ticket for this year's Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby Double. So you got some horses. It's a wide open race, don't get me wrong. The most common horses that you hear about is number 1, Secret Oath, trained by Hall of Fame trainer D. Wayne Lucas at 6-1. God bless Wayne, in his mid-80s, I think, still out there doing his thing, which is awesome to see. Number 2, Nostalgic, 15-1, trained by Bill Mott. A lot of people like this horse as a long shot. Number 3, Hidden Connection, another long shot that a lot of people are talking about that might definitely factor in your exactas, your trifectas, your superfectas. Barely lost to the number 7 horse, who we're going to talk about in detail here in just a little bit. Just lost by a nose to number 7 Echo Zulu in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Number 4, Ness for sure, trained by Todd Pletcher, 5-2 morning line favorite, in fact. Then you look towards the outside or mid to outside. So number 7, mid to outside post positions. Number 7, Echo Zulu. I'm going to come back to that because I really like that horse. It's trained by Steve Asmussen and rode by Joel Rosario is the jockey, 4-1 morning line, which I would be very thrilled if it stayed at 4-1 morning line. I doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this horse is favorite for the Kentucky Oaks or co-favorite with Kathleen O, who we're going to talk about next. Kathleen O is a closer. It's 7-2 morning line. Wouldn't be surprised if this horse is the favorite in the Kentucky Oaks or co-favorite with the number 7 Echo Zulu. Now let's talk about the pace scenario. And historically, horses, fillies that are running for those lilies in the Kentucky Oaks, I prefer horses that like to be near the front or on the very front end, the early speed. I look for that, but also closers do well here too. So you do have some options. I'm always going to prefer early speed horses over closers because they dictate, they control things, especially if it rains. And if it's off track, I have a lot of confidence in those horses that could get out front on a sloppy track. And that's why I really like the number 7, Echo Zulu. Echo Zulu, I don't know if it's the last race. People were kind of jumping ship a little bit because it wasn't that dominant in the Fairgrounds Oaks. And it might have regressed a little bit. That doesn't mean it will keep regressing. Might just had a bad, you hear the criticism of her, this horse, like she might be unfocused. She might not be, always have her game face on. Well, maybe that was an occasion, but maybe the big stage, she should really love the slop. If it's a wet track, she should really love it. So that's another plus in my book. You got a Hall of Fame trainer who knows how to get horses ready on big race days. You got Joel Rosario, wonderful jockey, especially good on the front end with horses, meaning if he has an early speed horse, he's very good at dictating that pace on the front end. You combine those connections, Joel's skill with early speed horses. This horse is undefeated, I think, on 5 different tracks, if I remember right, something like that. 4 different tracks. 5, if she wins the Oaks at Churchill, she'll be undefeated on 5 different racetracks. Kind of reminds me of one of my favorite horses, Wise Dan, back in the day. He can run on anything, turf, dirt, synthetic. I think he ran on synthetic. I think he won on everything, parking lot, pavement. Just a magnificent horse. Maybe Echo Zulu is that versatile. So the early speed, the connections, the posts, I'm not so worried about. Usually, honestly, outside is pretty good. So if you're like 8 post position or higher, which you have 14 horses in this field, I think you're in great shape, especially if you have early speed. But down on the inside is not so bad either. I'm not going to throw out Echo Zulu just because it's not on the far outside or on the far inside. I like Echo Zulu here in the Oaks. And I'm so much so that that's the only horse I'm going to use in my Kentucky Oaks Derby double as far as the Oaks part of it. But before we talk about the Derby part of it, I do want to reiterate, Kathleen O is a closer, should like to slop, which is number 10 horse, Kathleen O. Should like to slop, just got to get a pace to run at. Post position's good, trainer's excellent. Shug McGahee. Nest, I'm going to try to beat, just like I tried to beat Malathot last year. Came up just a little short. Couldn't get past Malathot with my horse in last year's, the 2021 Kentucky Oaks. But I'm sticking with Echo Zulu. If you want some long shots, it's down on the insides. To me, I think is your best shot if you want to use them as exactas, trifectas, superfectas, or even win bets. Or even if you want to include long shots in your Kentucky Oaks Derby double, that would be number 2, Nostalgic, and number 3, Hidden Connection. But as far as the Kentucky Oaks goes, I think it's all about Echo Zulu. The only thing I'm concerned about is the price. Hopefully don't dip too low. But I'm going to forgive that last race, even though she won. She wasn't that impressive, but she still won. I think this race sets up really good for Echo Zulu if she stays focused. I have so much faith in the trainer, so much faith in her jockey, so much faith in her jockey getting her out to the front end, so much faith in the trend of early speed horses do really well in the Kentucky Oaks. And if it rains, like they're predicting, even more so. Typically horses, I'm not an equine expert as far as like a veterinarian or anything. Typically horses don't like mud getting thrown in their face. So advantage goes towards horses that are on the front end with early speed. And another little thing to consider, sometimes I forget what they call it when they seal that track. I think it's called a floater or something, when it rains, they might seal that track because it's going to make it even faster, which means it's even more advantageous for early speed horses. To me, long as Echo Zulu gets that distance, as long as she stays focused, it's her race to lose. I just hope I get somewhere around 4-1. I'm going to put a win bet on Echo Zulu and, of course, single her, which means just using that horse alone in the Kentucky Oaks Derby double. Now let's talk about the Kentucky Derby part of the Kentucky Oaks Derby double, which if you're new to horse racing and handicapping, that's called the last leg. If you're trying to string together winners of multiple races, the first leg in this case would be the Kentucky Oaks. The last leg of this sequence is the Kentucky Derby. Again, watch my video if you want the full analysis of the Kentucky Derby, but I'm going to spread in this race because it is a chaotic Kentucky Derby. It's best to spread. I'm so confident in Echo Zulu that I don't need to spread too much in that race, or at all, in fact. So I'm going to spread in the Kentucky Derby, and my horses are the number 1, Modonical, number 3, Epicenter, number 6, Messier, number 10, Zandon, or Zandon. Still not sure how to pronounce that, even though I keep practicing every time before I make the videos. And number 12, Taba. Hopefully one of those 5 horses will prevail, and hopefully my confidence in Echo Zulu prevails and doesn't let me down. So that's my Oaks Derby double for 2022. Echo Zulu's going to be pretty low price. Even though I'm spreading them in the Derby, those are fairly logical horses. Hopefully Modonical, the post position, people will not bet it as much, and hopefully it'll drift up above 10-1 or somewhere around there. That'd be nice. So it'll pay a little bit, like I said early on in this video. Certainly not expecting to get rich. These are all either favorites in the Kentucky Derby, low price horses, such as Epicenter and Zandon, or mid-price horses. So there's no long shots to be found on this particular ticket of my Kentucky Oaks and Derby double. But hey, on these 2 race days, this particular wager sometimes could pay pretty well. If, for instance, Kathleen O or Nest becomes the favorite, I don't see it happening, whereas Echo Zulu is the 3rd or 4th choice. But if for some reason it does, and I beat Epicenter, who I think is going to be the Kentucky Derby favorite when they leave the starting gate, it's going to pay okay. And if I have it multiple times, I'll make it pay even better. So who do you like in the Kentucky Oaks Derby double? Are you playing that wager? If so, let us know. Leave a comment below. If you like this video, if you like these kinds of videos, please let me know by hitting that like button. And don't forget, if you want a lot of videos and tips, tools, and resources to help you make money betting on horses, well, then do this old boy a favor. Hit that like or hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get all the latest tips, tools, and resources to help you make money betting on thoroughbred horse racing. You all have a great Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby day. Hope all them wagers cash for you, make a lot of money. And above all, just enjoy these beautiful horses running around. Enjoy the pageantry of the Kentucky Derby and Oaks. But I'm a handicapper. I'm a bettor. I'm a gambler. I enjoy betting on these horses, trying to figure this out and trying to make some money. So hopefully you make some money too. Y'all have a great Kentucky Oaks and a great Kentucky Derby. Happy handicapping, smart wagering.